time progresses.
You know, Ms. Pemberton, as we observe the students working on that last challenge, I must say that I was much pleased because as we spoke to the students on Monday about STEM and the importance of STEM and talking about the 21st century skills that we are working to develop in our students, I know one of the things we left with them what we said were four C's, asking them to be creative, critical thinkers, good communicators, and collaborators. And I can say that as they worked on that one, I could see communication. They were
Definitely.
talking to each other. They were sharing ideas. And the collaboration was there.
All
So
hands were on deck.
all hands were, well, I don't know if it's on deck or on the table, but all hands were in the mix. And that is very good. That is very good. It seems as if, well, not seems as if, I know we are heading in the right direction. And I mean, we are going to be proud of these students in short order.
The judges are tabulating, it seems. I know they have a very difficult task this afternoon because we have some very intelligent students
Yes, ma'am.
here.
Yes, yes.
All right. Gonna pose a question to the teams on the tail end of that activity. I would like you to tell me, why do you think that the circuits didn't light?
Um, well, yes. I feel like it didn't work because they didn't have a neutral wire for a neutral connection, so circuit couldn't have flow properly, and yeah.
I like that explanation. Short and straight to the point. GSS?
So the reason why the circuit didn't light is because we got all positive wires and we didn't get any neutral, so there weren't any neutral charges to help the light bulb light or cause it to carry on the electricity to cause the light bulb to light.
Judges, I hope those explanations are good enough for you. So in science, we realize that sometimes things don't work out as they should.
All right.
But
Just a clarification. A neutral wire. You're talking about a black wire, right? All right. So we don't necessarily need a color for a wire to carry electricity. All right. The wire color is irrelevant. What needed to happen is that we needed to have everything connected properly. Maybe if there were more time, I would be able to show you quickly how it probably might have worked. I don't know if I'll get it to work, but how it might have worked. But I saw some of you get a little, what do you call it, burn. That means your circuit was complete, just that your bulb wasn't connected properly. All right? Okay?
so it sounds like Mr. David is promising us a little lesson at some point in time this afternoon. All right, challenge one is complete. Teams, give yourselves a round of applause. Come on, you guys have been doing an awesome job. And I want to remind the teams that when we ask you to come on up to explain, we want to see different faces coming up to explain because everybody has a hand in what is going on. All right? So, challenge number two.
And I'll just want to add to that as well, that we are well aware that the engineering process is not just a one-off, do it and done. You did something, you didn't get the desired result, so it takes you back to the drawing board and figure out, well, why didn't it work? or what can make it work better. So at least even this activity has indeed provided opportunity for learning. And I believe, I am confident that you who are participating in it will take that with you onwards. So when you have something similar to this again, you will remember. Most likely it will come out better next time.
All right. Judges, are we ready to move on to challenge number 2? Okay, teams, listen very carefully. This one is a bit long. So get your ears ready, get your thinking caps on, and I will read challenge number 2 for you. Okay. Do we have all of the resources for? Okay, let's go. Shaheem and Jason. I They have all of the resources that they need. The STEM team has assured me that they have all of the resources. Alrighty. Okay, so I'm going to begin. Shaheem and Jason are discussing whether the area and perimeter are both reduced when part of the shape is cut off. Shaheem's response is that both are reduced. Jason's response is that both are not reduced. Investigate using the resources provided whether you agree with Shaheem's or Jason's response. And I will read it again just for clarity. Shaheem and Jason are discussing whether the area and perimeter are both reduced when part of the shape is cut off. Shaheem's response is that both are reduced. Jason's response is that both are not reduced. Investigate using the resources provided whether you agree with Shaheem's or Jason's response. You may begin.
Three minutes left.
And while we wait on our teams to complete this challenge, I just want once more to acknowledge the generosity of our sponsors, First Federal Credit Union, and to recognize Miss Osborne, who is here representing them. We are in, hi, show me. I am indeed, we are indeed happy and grateful to you and your institution, Mrs. Osborne, for partnering with us. You know, we must speak highly of your willingness to work with us and our students as we endeavor to build a better society. Yes?
2 minutes.
Yes, and I can see that the students are focused on their task, and it will be interesting to hear the answers that they come up with at the end of the next minute and a half or so. Yes, and for those who may be just joining us, just to remind you that this morning we had our primary schools that went head to head in a similar activity, quite an exciting and interesting one. And I know those students have all left the activity feeling accomplished, feeling that they have achieved something, and feeling fulfilled. It was a moment of excitement. Of course, you're going to have some nervousness.
1 minute.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, so you have 1 minute, students, to finalize your thoughts, your options, your doings. And well, I think it is quite in order for me even now, as I thank and can't thank First Federal enough, to let other well-meaning corporate individuals know that we are always open at the Ministry of
20
Education.
seconds.
We are always open for collaboration and investment in our children. An investment in education can
10,
only reap
9,
dividends.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Your time is up.
All right, resources down. I see the faces. Some of them are still wondering, did we get it right? There's still a bit of talking going on amongst the teams. That's fine. I'm wondering how many persons in the crowd has an idea of what the answer is going to be. Pink shirts, my colleagues. Anyone has an answer?
Read the challenge again.
I'm tempted to read the question again so that even our viewers can start to do some doodling at home. Supporters, do you have an answer? Do you think you have an idea what it's going to be? My supporters have gone to sleep. All right, there's also a question component for this where we're expecting one person from each group to come up and answer the following question. So decide amongst yourselves who that person is who is going to come up, and this is the question that we're asking. Do you agree with either Shaheem or Jason? Explain why. Or did you come up with another response? So again, I'm asking CSS, as you were introduced first, you will come to the microphone. I will read the question again and you will provide an answer. And let's hear from someone who we haven't heard before. My friend in the middle looks like she wants to be that person. All right, so that question, do you agree with either Shaheem or Jason? Explain why. Or did you come up with another response? Step up to the microphone.
We agreed with Shaheem's response, and the way we investigated was we measured the area of one sheet of paper, and we found that to be 622 cm square, and we also measured the perimeter. And then we cut off a piece, and we measured the perimeter and calculated the area of the three sections, and we found that the area and the perimeter both had decreased.
Thank you, Charlestown Secondary. Gingerland Secondary, may we have your participant come into the microphone? Do you agree with either Shaheem or Jason? Explain why, or did you come up with another response?
From what we deduced, Shaheem was correct. By measuring the original area and then cutting that into different pieces, we got a reduced area. Therefore, Shaheem is correct.
Thank you very much. Judges, am I at liberty to provide the answer now? Before I give that, though, anyone in the crowd has an answer for me? All right, I have the answer. Listen carefully. And teams, you will figure out how well you did. The area will be reduced, but the perimeter can remain the same, reduced or increased. It depends on how the paper is cut. So one thing that we know for sure, the area will be reduced, but the perimeter or let me make sure I'm saying that right, the perimeter can remain the same, reduced or increased. It just depends on how you cut that paper. So we heard more along the lines of the area being reduced, but we didn't hear a lot about the perimeter for sure. The judges have a lot to think about here. And Mr. Libert is tempting us, wanting to show us a demonstration of how this works.
Yes, it all depends on how you. It all depends on how you cut the paper. Now, as long as you remove some of the paper, yes, the area will decrease. But depends on what you do and how you do, how you cut it. The perimeter can reduce, can increase, it can remain the same. I am going to attempt to cut this paper and hoping that the perimeter will increase.
He is hoping.
Yes.
Let's see. We know Mr. Libert is no longer with us, so we don't know if his skills are the same.
You see, well, I didn't measure it before, but
That's the disclaimer, guys. He did not
Yes.
measure it before.
yeah. And what I am doing here, I am endeavoring to cut it with a series of bends and corners. And by the time you make your way around all these bends and corners and measure it, you should get a longer distance than just going around the four sides. Can be challenged. And so again, I say that, well, I always say to people, young people especially, because I spent almost 38 years working with young people on a daily basis as a teacher and educator. And I always say to people, young people especially, any experience that you have, you should learn something from. If you have an experience and you have not learned anything, and especially if you keep repeating the same experience and there's no learning, it means if there's no learning taking place, we are wasting time. And so you want to make sure that you learn something from every experience, whether you consider it to be good or bad. If it is bad, it should teach you of something that you should have endeavored to avoid. If it is good, it would be something that you might want to repeat.
Mr.
and it
Liebert, do we
improve
need to
on.
time you, Mr. Liebert? I think you're taking a bit longer.
No, well, you see, I am not doing the challenge as a summary activity. I'm teaching a lesson.
All right, we're having a mini lesson here. Let's go, let's go.
Okay. Okay, let me speed up a little bit. And by the time I finish it, if you measure the perimeter of this paper, it should be a little bit longer than it was before. Never mind the paper. Huh? If if it's a regular shape.
Thank you so much
Well,
for
it
that
is.
demonstration,
But it
Mr.
doesn't make any
Liebert.
difference.
We are seeing that with the different ridges that we have there on the circumference of that paper, definitely we
It
will
must
have
be longer.
right a longer perimeter. Let's give Mr. Liebert a round of applause, everyone. Come on, all of my participants are not clapping. Let's look alert. All right, we're going to go straight into challenge number 3 of the midday round. Are we ready? Do we have our resources?
Are we ready? Resources down. Let your hands be of your resources and be ready to go when I say start. Activity number 3 in the midday round says Jessica deposits $5,000 in a savings account at First Federal Credit Union at 6% interest. The interest is compounded monthly. How much will she have in her savings after 3 years? After 3 years, sorry. Jessica deposits $5,000 in a savings account at First Federal Credit Union at 6% interest. The interest is compounded monthly. How much will she have in her savings after 3 years? You may begin.
And we are reminded that our teams have 5 minutes to complete this problem. And while we are talking about bank accounts at First Federal, for those of you in the crowd, if you haven't done so as yet, feel free to walk up to the First Federal Credit Union and open an account. The interest rates sound good according to these papers.
Okay.
All right, teams, could you pause for a quick moment?
Yes, erratum.
There is a slight error in the question that was read. It is not monthly, so we're going to reread it and insert the word yearly. All right, so stop what you've been doing and listen again for the question. All right?
Okay, yes. And we know that First Federal is a very generous institution, but we are, making them to be more generous than they are able to be. Jessica, Jessica deposits $5,000 in a savings account at First Federal Credit Union at 6% interest. The interest is compounded annually, yearly. How much will she have in her savings after 3 years? Jessica deposits $5,000 in a savings account at First Federal Credit Union at 6% interest. The interest is compounded annually. How much will she have in her savings account after 3 years? Turn over your paper and start again.
For those persons viewing online, I'm hoping that you too are trying out this challenge. Feel free to type in our live chat what your answer is. You just may get a prize. Who knows? I like to see the movement among the teams. They're not sitting in one position, they're walking about, yes, looking on each other's papers. The four C's, what did we say they were? Collaborating, communicating, creative thinking, creativity and critical thinking. And we are seeing these four themes shining through here this afternoon. And it seems like our teams are so awesome that they don't even need the 5 minutes. That's what it's looking like from my vantage point.
Three minutes. Two minutes.
I think I want to be on one of these teams. I think I have the answer. Anybody else has the answers yet? I see my colleagues working as well.
One minute left.
Should be wrapping up now. You have less than 1 minute.
Thirty seconds.
We have a sound clash here.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Your time is up.
All right, tools down. Let's shout out the GSS Panthers. No. What's okay? Sounding a little better. And the CSS Lions. Small but tallow it seems. All right. That was intense because as Mr. Lieben and I were here trying to figure it out, Miss Pemberton had a little error in figuring out her answer, but lucky thing Mr. Libert is here. I'm anxiously awaiting to see if our teams will remember that specific tip that was in the question that will help them to figure out the correct answer. I have the answer here, and guys, I was not too far off. I'm not a lost cause. All right. Teams, if any one of you has a desire to go to the restroom at this point in time, you may do so before we start our final round. So potty breaks, you may proceed to that. And while the teams go ahead and do their bathroom breaks, our answer for that last question. Who has the answer though? Did anybody else have that answer? No? Any one of the teams care to tell us what their answer was? They're smiling like we don't know if we want them to know. CSS, do you care to tell us what your answer was? It's not going to be judged any further. Thank you for graciously accepting CSS.
The answer we got was $5,955.08. And the way we got this was we first calculated 6% of the 5,000 for the first year, and then we added the interest to the initial balance, which was 5,000, and then we found 6% of that and added the interest that we got to the previous balance and did that until we had the 3 years.
Thank you very much, CSS. Thank you so much for that explanation and answer.
How about GSS?
GSS, tell me about yours. As we said, it's not going to be really judged. We're just asking since some persons are at the restroom.
Anyone from GSS to share your answer with us?
Anybody? It doesn't seem like it. Oh, okay. Someone is here. Brave young man. Thank you.
First, we collected all our info, the deposit, the interest, and how many years she would save her cash in the bank. Then we calculated how much interest she'd have in her bank after a single year, and we repeated that process for the next 2 years. And we got an answer of $5,955.08 $0.08.
Thank you so much, both teams. Let's give them a round of applause. I think the way how you guys presented your information, that's very remarkable. And both of you indeed came up with the correct answer. So we are safe, the correct procedure as well. So we know that when we go into the bank in a few years and you're the teller, everything is going to be just fine. Now we have some scores. Are we ready to hear the scores after round one? Some persons said yes, some said no. Let's hear everybody saying yes. Are we ready to hear the scores after round one? All right. Now listen carefully, because anything can happen. After round one, we have Charlestown Secondary School Lions amassing a total of 15 out of 18 points. Let's give them a round of applause. And the Gingerland Secondary School Panthers, they have a total of 13 out of 18 points. So it's a pretty close race. Anything can happen. Remember, we do not have the points after round two just yet, so don't give up. It's anybody's race at this point in time. And once all of our participants are back, we are going to go into our sunset round, because the sun is going down a bit and things are getting cooler. So we are going into our sunset round. And in this round, each challenge will be worth or will take 10 minutes to complete. So get yourselves ready. You've had your bathroom break. Get your minds ready, your fingers ready to do what they need to do. And we are going to start momentarily. Once our runner or our resource person is finished, we will read that first challenge. And again, we want to thank First Federal for being our corporate sponsor for today's event, and also thank the Department of Education, more specifically the S.T.E.M team at the Department of Education, for all of your hard work in making this week's activities, and specifically this current activity, a success. And a reminder that we come back here on Friday for something even grander than this. More details to come. Okay, so we are going to begin our sunset round. Our first challenge. Okay, build a gravity-powered sorting machine that can separate small and large marbles. Again, build a gravity-powered sorting machine that can separate small and large marbles. You have 10 minutes, begin. And I must admit I have no clue what they're supposed to do. So I will be looking intently. And Mr. Libert says you cannot call on him to ask for any assistance or explanation, because he's not into physics. Teams, feel free to get up, move about your space. I'm seeing things like popsicle sticks, cups, glue. All right, Mr. Libert says it's not difficult. There's tape. A gravity-powered sorting machine that can separate small and large marbles. Yes, our forces are coming through. We are seeing the communication on a very high level right now, the collaborating, and definitely a lot of creativity here with what I'm seeing. And there is definitely a lot of critical thinking going on. Teams, you're doing a great job so far. I see Mr. Blackett seems like he wants to be a part of the challenge today. 'Teams, the question is being projected on the screen in front of you just in case.
6 minutes left. 5 minutes.
Half of your time has gone, teams. Progress is being made. For those of you viewing, currently our teams are working on building a gravity-powered sorting machine that can separate small and large marbles. And we remember our days growing up fondly, playing with marbles and pitching and all of those great memories that we made. Our students are actually sorting those marbles now. I'm still trying to figure out the mechanics behind it.
Three minutes left.
Things being built here, they seem to be structurally sound as well. Wow.
2 minutes.
We should be almost there, teams. Mr. Williams is looking on intently. He's seeing his vision come into life. And he's smiling.
I particularly like what I'm seeing here. You know, you could see some thought going into what the students are doing, and I truly love that. And when I see
1 minute.
when I see that, I feel good about the future of our country. Yes, yes, yes.
30 seconds.
All right, crunch time.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Your time is up.
Resources down. Hands up. Let's go. Hands up. I'm even tempted to say 2 more minutes, but we can't. So the judges will be coming around. Let's give our teams a round of applause. And we're going to have demonstrations, of course. My friend here at CSS looked at me like, what? I didn't know that part of it. Yes, each team will have to demonstrate to us. So we're going to start off with the Gingerland Secondary School. They're going to demonstrate for us first. And for those of us who are not as good in science and physics and mathematics and all of that, please ensure to explain to us what you guys did and the thought behind it. So Gingerland Secondary, you will explain first and demonstrate at that time as well.
No, no, one person, one person. Huh? Okay. For this system, we get the paper. Yeah. For this system, we were attempting to use gravity to figure out how we would send marbles from who separate marbles, the small marbles and the big marbles, using gravity. And yeah, it works by you placing in marbles in this section, and the marbles flow down due to gravity into these slots where only the small marbles can fit. But if they're big marbles, they'll go into this hole instead. Let's go.
Wow. This is awesome. I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued. Good job. Good job, GSS. So it actually works. The big marble went into the portion that was selected for that. And the smaller marbles went into the into the appointed part. So let's go, GSS Panthers. All right, we have scientists there. Now CSS Lions. We gotta come good. Let's go, CSS Lions. Let's get the enthusiasm going and let's see your demonstration, please. Be confident in what you built, what you created. Let's go.
Good afternoon. So here we have a gravity-powered sourcing marble machine, and the three cups are here. One of them are used for elevating. So it's elevated because the gravity would come and it would roll the marbles down into each designated cup. So the first cup here is for the smaller marbles, and the second cup is for the bigger marbles. So, as I will demonstrate, um, the sticks are placed in a way that the smaller marbles would fall through, and the bigger marbles, they're too big to fall through the spaces, so they would fall into the last cup.
Jump.
Wait, wait, wait.
You missed the hole.
Sorry. Let me do it one time.
All right, as my grandmother would say, there are many ways to skin a cat. So there were two different things built here, and both teams, it seems, were able to get the big marbles and the small marbles being sorted. CSS Lions, let's hear you. Oh, come on, my lions sound like little cats this afternoon. CSS Lions. Wow, they've gone asleep, but congrats to both teams. In my view, remember, I'm not a judge, but it looks like both of you got it done. The judges will award the marks based on what they observed, and their opinions are the one that matters.
And what I would want to add here, like I said to the group of students that I spoke with on Monday, that what we are teaching you in the area of STEM is not just something for fun time, it's not just something for now, it's something for life. For this particular activity, what I can say to you, it is the same principle that works at a quarry where you separate aggregates of different sizes. The same sort of idea, the same mechanism. And so these things are meaningful, not just for school, but for life.
Mr. Blackett would like to ask a question.
Yes, a question to both teams. I recognize that you only use one marble at a time. Is that an issue? Can you use like two marbles at the same time?
For GSS, I'm talking on behalf of GSS, but I think it's the same with CSS. We can use two marbles at the same time, but seeing that the wind is affecting our structure, it's blowing the marbles back and forth because they're light objects. We had to do one at a time to ensure that they don't go haymay on the structure that we built. That's the reason why we did it one at a time. So no, it was not an issue, but we did it because of our environment. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much for that explanation. I think the judges are pleased. CSS, do you have an explanation, or was that fine for everybody? Okay, my friend has his hand up. Is that saying that it was fine? All right. All right, we are having a good time here, and we are going to go into challenge number 2 that Mr. Librod will read for us. Judges, are we ready for challenge number 2? All right. Do we have our resources? Yes, we do. Okay, so Mr. Librod will now read challenge number 2.
Okay, and just before I read challenge number 2, I just want to recognize again our sponsors, First Federal Credit Union. It is indeed a joy to be partnering with you. And I'm seeing we have Miss Osborne here representing. And not only Miss Osborne, because I look around and I see one of my past grade 2 students, Miss Shauna Daniel. Shauna, it's good to have you. Yeah. Our second challenge, and this goes for pay attention. Oh, okay, okay. This one says, design and create a PowerPoint. Activity number 2, design and create a PowerPoint. You have 10 minutes, start now. Oh, shoot.
Teams on the screen in front of you, there are some additional instructions given. So, although we are asking you to design a PowerPoint, the specifics is depicted there on your screen. All right, you are to follow all instructions given. Set your margins to 1.5 inches left and 2.5 centimeters top and bottom. You are also to insert a suitable design, on the slides. Center and capitalize all slide headings. Use the font Times New Roman. Size 43 for the headings of the slides, 2, 3, and 4. And your final instruction would be, upon completion, save as soil. Teams, you are reminded that you are creating a 4-slide PowerPoint presentation. A 4-slide PowerPoint presentation. Our teams have 10 minutes to create a PowerPoint presentation with 4 slides in it. And at the end of it all, they're expected to save it as soil. We're anticipating the creativity, to come out through this presentation. Critical thinking as well, definitely. And I'm sure this will be a walk in the park for them because they're in high school and these are some of the things that teachers expect of them on a regular basis.
Five minutes left.
Our judges are walking about to observe our participants.
How much time do you have left?
3 minutes, 40 seconds left.
I'm hoping that these students are not like I was when I did computer in high school. Looks like they're making some headway, just under 3 minutes, teams.
Two minutes.
Tensions are running high here among our students. Teams reminded there are at least 5 specific instructions that you were to follow. Please ensure that you have all of that covered in your PowerPoint presentation.
One minute. We, however, will add 30 seconds considering the connection issues earlier. Okay, we'll give 30 seconds more, starting now.
Should be looking over your PowerPoint now, ensuring all of the instructions were carried out, ensuring that it is saved.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time is up.
Fingers off of the keypad. I'm hoping everyone has it saved and everything that you were needing to be in your presentation is there. I heard one team have a little shout there at the end. Oh God. I'm hoping I'm hoping it wasn't something detrimental to your presentation.
I'm certain that all of us who are gathered here are enjoying the activity, and I am certain that our live audience would also be intrigued by what is going on at the moment. You know, as I look around for the afternoon, I realize that there has been a look of satisfaction on Miss Osborne's face all afternoon. She is happy with the activity. And I want to suggest to you, Miss Osborne, that First Federal, by partnering with us on this activity, has chosen a winner, because I believe I can speak for the Ministry of Education when I say we are hoping that this is the first edition of it. It's not the last. And we are hoping that over time, we will be able to see this as a marquee event. And so you are in a good place. So I am what? Yes. Indeed, groundbreaking. And so we are hoping that you will stay for us. You will stay with us when this event becomes a household word around Nevis and across the Federation, across the Caribbean and worldwide. People will be gravitating towards Nevis to see what we are doing here and how we get it done. So you stay with us. Indeed.
All right, judges appear to be with the Charlestown Secondary School, observing their PowerPoint presentation, ensuring that they dotted all their I's and crossed all their T's. It is just about 4 o'clock and we have just one more challenge to go. And I can tell you I won't tell you what subject matter it's going to be about, but it will be something that's very interesting. All right, and while we are waiting, I want to invite you out to our STEM Expo on Friday, beginning at 9 a.m. right here at the Malcolm Gishad Recreational Park. We are looking forward to seeing everyone in the community here and you're just putting a plug in. There will be a well-stocked bar. There will be lots of activities, prizes, different displays from schools and other business places. It promises to be a wonderful affair. So come on out and join us on Friday of this week as we host the S.T.E.M Expo, the very first of its kind. I dare say in the Federation, even though I may or may not be correct. I'm correct. Good. So the first in the Federation, and of course we are trailblazers at the Department of Education, and we want to again thank the S.T.E.M team and all of the other persons at the Department of Education who would have made today possible. Once again, thanks to our sponsors, thanks to our teachers, our parents, all of our partners who worked with us to ensure that today is a success. We are seeing Nevis Newscast, NTV. We are seeing Dynamic Design Studio. Thank you for being here so that everything can be photographed and live streamed. We know that our persons online are very happy that they're able to witness everything that we are seeing here today. So all of the moving parts came together and ensured that our S.T.E.M challenge today, our very first S.T.E.M challenge, indeed is a success. We're still looking through our PowerPoint presentations. The judges are back at their table, and you'll give me the nod when it's time to move on to our very final challenge this afternoon. Do we have any points from round 2? All right, they're coming. So before we start our final challenge, we will know where we are and how hard we need to work for our final challenge. All right, the points are here. All right, so first we will hear the points for round 2. Let me verify here. It looks like a symbol that I'm not positive what it is. Let me verify. Okay, all right. The Gingerland Secondary School amassed a total of 20 points for round 2. Let's give them a round of applause. And the Charlestown Secondary School got 21 points. Now we're going to give you the total points so far. We have the Charlestown Secondary School with 36 out of 45 possible points. Okay, I think I said that loudly. Let's say it again. The Charlestown Secondary School has 36 out of 45 points. Good. And the Gingerland Secondary School has 33 out of 45 points. It's still a very close race, just 3 points. GSS, y'all can do something here in this last one. I'm backing both teams. All of you are winners here today. We are waiting to see this final challenge and what the outcome will be. Judges, are we ready to move on? Okay, they nodded. So, do I have the resources for my final challenge? Okay, the runners are coming. And by runners, we mean the students who will bring the resources to the tables. Let's give them a little clap. They've been working hard in the sun all afternoon. That's not a big enough clap. Come on. Right. Okay. So teams, when you're ready, look up at me. Give me a nice wink. And as Mr. Libert said, you can touch your buzzer to let me know when you're ready. Okay, and we are removing, we realize then that it has to be something with some form of chemicals because they are removing all of the different things, the tablecloth, the different resources that they would have used prior. So something, I hope nothing blows up here this afternoon, but some sort of chemicals will be in the mix right now. Do we want to move our buzzer? We don't want our buzzer to malfunction a little later. Are we ready, teams? Safe resources, I like that. Part of science and technology and engineering and math is ensuring that our students are in a safe environment while they are learning. So I'm happy that our team ensured that all of our chemicals and resources here are child-friendly, environmentally friendly, and safe for all of us to be around. It seems like both of our teams are ready. I like the fact that they are standing. They're saying, this is the last one. We got to give it everything. So I'm going to read it now. This challenge will be about pH testing. And it says here, let's investigate with some chemicals you may have at home. And I am seeing that the instructions are going to be on the screen directly in front of you. So again, it says, let's investigate with some chemicals you may have at home. Look at your screen for the specific details. Okay, the sheets that you have on the table will give you the specific directions. So in light of that, you may begin.
And I remind you, you have a total of 10 minutes for this challenge. And this indeed should be they have all been exciting for the afternoon, for the entire day. But if I was to be a little bit biased, I expect this one to be most exciting. Yes, I would say chemistry was my favorite area when I was in school. So I love playing around with chemicals. But they have all been exciting. Yes, so just focus and pay keen attention to your instructions. And give good accounting of yourself. Remember, I say in my mind, this would be the most exciting one, being that it's chemistry and chemicals. Ooh. Yes, and I could see the teamwork. I could see the teamwork coming through. Collaboration. There is communication as well.
Okay, I may interject and read the instructions that the team already have. Pour a little more than half a cup of water into the first 4 cups labeled above. Pour a little more than a half a cup of vinegar. Vinegar, oh my, what's going on with me today? Let's begin again. Pour a little more than half a cup of water in the first 4 cups labeled above. Pour a little more than half a cup of vinegar, Sprite, bleach into the remaining cups as labeled. Carefully add the lime, toothpaste, and baking soda to their respective cups as labeled. Stir each one using a clean popsicle stick. Make your initial observations. Record your observation on the sheet provided. And finally, pour a little of the cabbage solution given into each cup and observe what happens. Record your observations.
Wow, sounds interesting.
Do I need to read again? All right.
And so for our virtual audience, you will understand that the students are focused on carrying out the various activity, the
6
various
minutes
mixing
left.
and adding and mixing and observing and writing down observation. And you could see that they are truly engaged in the activity.
5 minutes. Four minutes. Three minutes. 2 minutes.
Make sure na antabite me foot here.
1 minute. 30 seconds left, but we'll allow students to finish after time is up since they're so close.
Yes. And if you are able to see what's going on the tables at the workstation, you will understand why I say this is the most exciting part. When you see all these different color changes, that is what makes chemistry interesting and exciting. Yes.
Time is up, but you may continue to finish what you're doing.
Mm. 'Kay.
We will just give a few more, 30 more seconds for you to wrap up.
Okay. I I truly love to see how these students have been engaged this afternoon and are still engaged in the activity. I'm hearing the discussion that is going
10
on,
seconds.
and I'm just loving it.
9 seconds. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stop.
Okay, your time is up. All work stop. And let's get ready. Let's get ready. We start over here, right? Let's get ready for some reporting as soon as the judges have satisfied themselves. So only one person will report. Okay. Okay, in just a little bit, we'll have a member of each team who would speak to us in relation to the activity that was just completed. So, we'll just wait a moment until the judges would have completed their engagement with the students, the teams, and then we'll have them report. Okay. Judges, can I call on the students now? Okay. Yes, we'll have, as we have done for a number of the activities for the afternoon, yes, we'll have a representative from each team come to the mic and speak to us. For this activity, we begin with Charleston Secondary School. Charleston Secondary School Lions. We'll hear you on the mic at the moment, in a moment, as you explain to us. And what we are asking you to tell us, what observations did you make in that activity? What observations did you make, and what deductions can you make from your observations?
So that what we were doing here was an indicator test with variant substances, and what we deduce here, what we observe that neutral substance turns purple. For example, like water, alkalis turns blue and green. For example, the baking soda turn blue and and for the acids, turn pink, red, and orange. For example, the lime water.
Yes. Okay. I think. I listened and I paused a little bit before I responded to your presentation. Because I was trying to figure out whether you gave me your deductions, but I believe they're in there. I'll hear from Gingerland Secondary. Well, I keep saying Jaguars. I wonder. Gingerland Secondary School Panthers. Asking if CSS is Jaguars. I'm asking if Gingerland is Jaguars. I'm so out of it where that is concerned. Gingerland Secondary School Panthers. Tell us, what observations did you make during that activity, and what deductions can you make from your observations?
Okay, so our observation before adding the cabbage water was that when we added each for the water and the vinegar, since we were supposed to add water in both of those cups at least halfway, as according to the instructions, they were clear as expected. For the baking soda, we added water as well, and it gave a little bit of cloudiness around the cup, same as for the toothpaste, seeing that the water is diluting the substances and making them dissolve, so they would turn into a different color, or they would cause a chemical reaction. For the lime and the vinegar mixed, it was a bit fizzy at first, but yeah, it was a bit fizzy. Then with the Sprite, because it's a carbonated beverage, it was fizzy as well. And for the bleach and water, the bleach held its color and the water didn't do anything to affect it. When we added the cabbage to each of these cups, for the water and vinegar, seeing that there was only water in those cups, they remained purple. For the toothpaste, it turned into a lilac color because the chemicals used in toothpaste to clean our teeth made the color lighter, and because the toothpaste itself was white, and we know white makes colors lighter. Baking soda is an alkaline, so it immediately turned the cabbage water blue, and it caused a little bit of phase that shows our chemical reaction. Same with the toothpaste. And the lime and vinegar mix, seeing that they're acids, they turned a bright pink. Same with the Sprite. Those are our observations. If we were to make a deduction, I think we could have deducted a bit from the bleach to see if it would turn a purplish color or if it would change color. That is my opinion, but I can't really speak on the minds of these because we don't have the same brain. Thank you.
I dare say reports very eloquently done. Let's give them a round of applause. And well, we have completed the activity you have reported. And because I see pH testing, I think one of the things you're listening to here, which of our, and I think it came out somewhere along the line, which of our substances were acidic, which were alkaline, and which ones may have been neutral. I think I heard those kind of deductions being made based on color change and so on. So it says to me that we are in a good place. We are thinking in the right direction. I just want to encourage you to continue to apply yourselves diligently. We are looking forward to great things from you going into the future. Let's give them another round of applause for their work this afternoon.
All right, and we are anxiously awaiting the final points from our judges. Our statisticians are crunching, Miss Lance and Mr. Williams, and pretty soon we will know who the winner is. We must say thank you to our officials this afternoon, our judges, Dr. Kamara Louisi, Mr. Craig David, and Mr. Wilbert Blackett. Our sponsor, First Federal Cooperative Credit Union. Our teams, the Charlestown Secondary School and the Gingerland Secondary School. Our announcers, Mr. Frederick Liburd and Miss Pemberton, yours truly. Our statisticians, as I said, Mr. Williams and Miss Lance. And our S.T.E.M team, the Department of Education staff. Our markers who diligently walked through the participants all afternoon and ensured that they were on task. Our runners, our bus drivers who got our students here, everyone who was involved in today's activity. We want to say thank you.
And just as we can't say thank you too much to First Federal for coming through for us in a big way, it's just so we can say enough thanks to our S.T.E.M team at the Ministry of Education. It's a lot of work that went into this. I can dare say, having been there for part of the time, that the working towards this end today started over a year ago because it started in the last school year. And I mean, it was a lot of brain work, a lot of planning, meetings, discussions, and sifting out things. And I think it is indeed in order for us to give our STEM team a sound round of applause. Let's applaud them for the work they have invested. Yes. And yes, they worked hard. And I, having been part of the team, I kind of left them high and dry a little while ago, but they continued and they came through. So I'm happy to see, and so I'm happy to be able to be back here today to help you bring it to a conclusion.
And since he felt that he left them high and dry, he made sure that he was here today to do his mini lesson and show us about the area and perimeter earlier. We had a good time today, and I must say I was refreshed on some of the content that we had here today. And I'm pretty excited about Friday and all of the good things that we will see coming through at the STEM Expo. We want to thank again the STEM unit, those persons who you're seeing in the blue shirts. They are the ones who would have made today possible, along with our sponsors and all of the staff members at the Department of Education. Our schools, thank you so much. Teachers, you would have done a marvelous job preparing our students. Let's give our teachers a round of applause. Without the work of them behind the scenes, we know for sure our students would not have been prepared here today. So your efforts definitely do not go unnoticed. And just by way of a reminder, we had the primary school portion taking place this morning. Our winners were the Mud Cross Preparatory School, who placed third, the St. Thomas's Primary School, who placed second, and the Ivor Walters Primary School, who would have emerged the winners of the STEM Challenge this morning. As Mr. Libert says, that's his school. So we are awaiting to see if the Panthers will rule or if the Lions will rule this afternoon. And I'm looking over at our statisticians, and while they tabulate their final scores, we will call on Miss Claxton, our principal education officer, to come to the microphone for a moment. So she will not be talking, but she will be featured in our presentation. We will see her lovely face on stage for the presentations. And also the representatives from First Federal. We will be looking for you as well for our presentations, which will be very, very shortly. Okay, while we are waiting on the final scores, we will, in the interest of time, we will share out our certificates of participation. So once I have them in my hand, I will call on the various participants, and you will come and stand center stage, look at the cameraman, smile like it's Christmas morning, and we will present you with your certificate. All right, from the Gingerland Secondary School, we have Niket Katwala. And please forgive me in advance if I say the wrong name or pronounce it incorrectly. Come on, GSS Panthers. All right, Niket Katwala. All right, we will now call on Ajerne Hodge. The rest of you can stand in the meantime. We will now call on Kijari Huggins. Xander Brazier. Come on up, Xander. And Rajon Fifield. Big smile, Rajon. Come on, Rajon. You can do it. All right, we will call on the Charlestown Secondary School participants in a moment. Get ready. I think Sharmia Thompson, that's correct. Sharmaya Thompson. She looks very familiar. Looks like one of my past students. Are you Donella's sister? All right. And while we give her her participation gift, we will call on Wodelcia Budgen. Or is it Bajan? It's Bajan. Tidre Woodley. Rusha Sharma. And last but not least, Jadane Herbert. Is that how I said it? Tell us the correct pronunciation. Jaden Herbert? Jadon. He said it so suave. Jadon Herbert. Thank you, Ms. Claxton. Now we will call on the representative from First Federal, and they will assist us with presenting the trophies. But before we do that, the scores, the final scores, I've called them out for the whole afternoon, so I'm going to let Mr. Leiber do this one.
Yes, and I think I no this. I think I like. Oh, see, find this. Round three. Okay. I think I like what I'm seeing in the end. For round three, CSS amassed a total of 31 points. Give them a round of applause. That's good work. GSS, Gingerland Secondary, amassed a total of 33 points. Give them a round of applause. And so that brings us to a very, very close finish. What I would want to call the slimmest of margin. There was a grand total of 90 points up for grabs. One team came through with 66 points. Give that team a round of applause. The other team came through with 67 points. And I dare say, it is not over until it's over. This reminds me of calling out schools at Gingerland Secondary. Yes, the slimmest of margin, a separation of 1 point, separating our first place team and our second place team. And I dare say that the winner of this afternoon's activity, with 67 out of 90 available points, is the Charlestown Secondary School Lions. And having said all that, we are going to have our representatives from the First Federal Credit Union to come and assist us with the distribution of the final prizes and trophies.
All right, thank you so much. Congratulations to both teams, but a special congratulations to our winner, the Charlestown Secondary School. We will now call on the runners-up who will come and receive their trophies. The Gingerland Secondary School, you will come forward, please. Let's give them a round of applause as they come. I was very impressed with both teams. The way how you collaborated, the way how you delivered your explanations. There is nothing to be ashamed of this afternoon. You were marvelous. Let's give them a round of applause. Somebody's missing from the Gingerland Secondary team. Okay, we will just take the picture with these four participants. The other young lady, she had to exit for a little bit. Thank you and congratulations to the Gingerland Secondary School Panthers. And as you leave, you collect your tokens. They're coaxing Mr. Fifield to smile. It doesn't look like it's happening at all. It's there. He's just hiding it well. Give one of the teachers. Give it to one of the teachers, Kijari. Right. All right, and now we will call on the winners of this afternoon's STEM challenge, the Charlestown Secondary School Lions, representing the black and gold. Come on up. I'm waiting for the applause in the audience. All right. All smiles, winning team. I've tried to get them smile all afternoon. It didn't work. Thank you, CSS, and congratulations. We will have our vote of thanks.
After following the vote of thanks, we are asking both teams, members of the all team members, and the teacher who worked with them to join the STEM team at the tent somewhere to the back over on my left for a little refreshment. Both teams, all team members, and the teacher who worked along with them. And the judges. I'm told the judges will join them as well. Okay? Thank you.
Good afternoon. I would like to adopt the protocol that was so ably established earlier this afternoon. The privilege is mine to close this afternoon's proceedings by thanking everyone who made the first Federal Cooperative Credit Union STEM Challenge 2023 a reality. First of all, I would like to thank the Almighty God for bringing each one of us here this afternoon. To Mrs. Julie Pemberton, thank you for invoking God's presence on us this morning. This year's STEM challenge would not have been possible without our sponsor, First Federal Cooperative Credit Union, for its partnership with us and generous contribution. Thank you to the Honorable Troy Liburd for your brief but encouraging remarks. To our esteemed participants and officials, a huge thank you for the part you played in this event. If it was not for your participation, this event would not have been possible. To the staff at the Ministry of Education, Information Technology, Library Services, and Youth and Sports, thank you for giving your 100% in ensuring that today's proceeding is successful. Special thank you to the media for covering this event. If I miss anyone, it was not intentional. And this last thank you covers everyone. Thank you, one and all.